Hello everyone. So in this video, I will be talking about 100 days of code, the complete Python Pro Bootcamp for 2022 by Angela Yu. So basically this course is for mastering the Python language, right? So if you want to master Python language using this course, then this video is for you. So I will be talking about this course in this video. So first I will start with two things. So first, you should be have clear vision in your mind that why you are doing this course. Okay, the first condition is you want to learn Python just for data structures and algorithms, right? And second motivation could be you want to learn Python to make projects, or you want to be a Python developer, or you want to be a freelancer, anything, right? So second condition, you want to do more things in Python, and first condition is you only want to do data structures and algorithms in Python. Then if you are lying in the first condition, then there is no need that you should buy this course, right? Because this thing you can do using any free resource. Like I will give an example. If you know English, you can go for Core Sharper course. Yes, Core Sharper Python playlist. You can go for this 143 videos. And if you know Hindi, you can go with Code with Harry, right? For Python language. So no need to buy this course if you just want to learn Python, right? For mastering data structures. And how to master data structures with Python, that video I already have made in this channel. The link will be on the I button. Now coming on the second condition, that you want to do more things with Python. You want to learn projects, you want to become a Python developer, or you want to become a freelancer. Then yes, this course is really for you, because in this course Python covers every aspect, not only the console based application. This course cover all the aspects of Python, like GUI application, web development, and more than that, and web scraping. So there are more things in this course. So I will talk about this now. So how will you start? First, start learning the Python from this course only, and start from this day one, and yeah, go till the object oriented thing 15. So you have to do nothing, just follow what Angela Yu is saying and go through this course for these days, right? From day 14, and you will be learning a lot in these 14 days. You will be covering the basic Python, the loops, if else condition, and so many things are there in these 14 days, right? When the object oriented programming is started, then you have to pay attention. Why do you have to pay attention? Because this thing is really important, not only for your projects, but also for your job interviews, right? If you want to become a Python developer, or you are going anywhere, this thing is really important, and the main thing of this course, right, that you have to master. So when you start with this 15-day and going through this oriented programming tutorials, make sure you try to make more and more console based application. And what type of console based application, I am giving you example. So what you will do, suppose you will make a bank system using object oriented programming, right? In this bank system, you will be using all the concepts of object oriented programming. Like you will be using classes, you will be using you will be also using the functions of classes, you will be using inheritance, right? You will be using polymorphism. Try to use every concept every concept of object oriented design in these kind of questions, the console based application, and try to add more and more functionality which you can add, like creating a account in bank system, right? And transaction, how the transaction is moving. Try to make everything which you can think of. Also made a railway system. Yeah, always try to make this kind of things. So try to make a railway system, then try to design a parking system, this kind of things. Why these things are important? Basically, if I consider example like companies Zoho, or any company, Intuit, Intuit is a very good company, right? And many more companies, they usually ask this kinds of question, okay, in their interviews, just to check if you can implement object oriented programming in a real world. Okay, so make sure you will try to go with more of these examples and try to make this kind of application which is purely console based. Okay, you do not have to worry about the GUI and other things. Try to use every concept of object oriented programming in these kind of designs, right? It will help you a lot in your future interviews and every perspective where you will go, right? So after learning this thing is really important. Okay, these things are also important, like building a snack game. So what you are doing in this course, like this is a snack game which Angela you will taught you. And there are a lot of things like animation coordinates. Generally in the interviews you will not need this kind of thing, but these things is really important for your projects. If you want to develop a project and want to mention in your resume, then this thing is really important for you. Only if you want to go in the interviews, then these things will not help you. Only thing will help you is this, right? So this thing is really good when you try to build a snack game using this course. Try to learn the flow of the object oriented programming, that how you are going. Actually Angela, you taught this thing really well. I appreciate that, because she start with the procedural approach, then she convert the whole thing into the object oriented design. Yeah, that thing will make your thought process how you should move ahead with object oriented designs. And this thing is really important, right? So spend your most time on this section, object oriented design. This is really important. Try to make 2 3 projects related to that. Like this is the snack system. Use your animation skills which Angela you taught, and try to make more things in object oriented design, because most important part will be this. Okay, now coming forward to this is some general things like playing with files and all. Now coming with tkinter. So what is basically a tkinter? Tkinter will help you out to make a application, desktop applications, right? So not console based application, you will be implementing your logic and you will be showing a beautiful GUI to the user of the functionality. So if you are interested in making a GUI application, or you want to make really some good projects for resume, that tkinter will help you out in this, right? Tkinter is very good application for GUI purpose, and it's easy also. So you will be doing a GUI application through this section of the course. And if you want to make projects, yeah, you can use this section. But keep one thing in mind. Main thing is object oriented approach. Please use object oriented approaches in all of your projects, right? This thing is really important. So this is the tkinter thing which you can use. Then this is the data parsing thing that you can always use. And now it comes with API. Yeah, so what is API? API is basically a middleware which will help you out to fetch the data from some other resource, right? So API, what you can do, there is two things. You can never master a API, because API is always dependent upon the documentation. You have to read the documentation, go through the documentation and implement a API, right? So API is generally a very good thing for your projects. You can use a API, like if you are building your GUI application, you can use any API. Like you can use a weather API in your application just to show the functionality. And you can mention in your project, yeah, I use this application, this API in my project. That it will boost your confidence in the interviews. That interview will might be happy that, yeah, this guy also know how to use APIs in the project and real world applications. So yeah, you can use API. I will not say that make a separate project upon API, but try to use APIs in one of your main project in a short role. Okay, this will help you out, right? I am giving you a good advice. Try to give try to use a short API in your main project. That will help you out in your interviews. So API thing you can learn from this section, and this is really good. You will be next from this day 41. The course will start with web development, right? So web development, HTML, CSS is a basic thing you all know. Now comes with web scraping. Web scraping is currently on boost for today, nowadays, and you can use Selenium obviously in your resume. After learning from this, this is not very deep diver into the Selenium thing, but Selenium is really good if you want to make bots for such things like bots. Yeah, usually we use Selenium to make bots, and you can learn how to make short bots. I will not suggest to from this course you go through the Selenium and mention the bots and all things in your resume, because Selenium is really basic in this course. So you will be learning basic Selenium in this course, right? And you can try these projects and make basic bots using the Selenium thing. Okay, one important thing what you can do, these two PDFs are for Python, which I forget in the object oriented thing. So these two PDF you can use for your notes reference. Angela, you will also provide you notes in the throughout this course, but I will suggest this is a very short notes for quick revision of object oriented programming in Python. I will give the link in the description. You can use these notes just to quickly go through the course, and you can just revise this course in only 10 to 20 minutes, and all the concepts of main concepts will be covered. So this course is really helpful for you. So I will be giving the link in the description. Second course is very detailed, very detailed notes. These are very detailed notes which you can use for your detailed analysis. If you want to go deep diver into object oriented thing, then you can use these notes. Okay, so these two links I will be provided in the description. So okay, we covered till Selenium, right? You can use Selenium. Now start with these things. So these are I will say these are only fancy things. So yeah, you can learn, but what I will say, some fancy things these are. Then bootstrap also no use. Okay, now from this the course will start with backend, right? So backend, this course is very basic in backend and database. So what you can do, you can use any external resource. I will suggest to go for database. If you want to learn MySQL or MongoDB, always go through W3 schools, okay, for SQL. And because the notes are very short and crisp, so you can go through these syntax and you can see the queries, what the SQL is doing, how the functionality is going on. So try to learn SQL and MongoDB if you want to learn database through this course from this resource. Yeah, and I can guarantee you, if you already learned SQL, it will not take more than 2 days. And if you are new to SQL, then it can take 5 days. Okay, so 5 days is enough for this SQL and MongoDB thing, right? So after this is the backend part. I will not suggest to go through this course. You can for Flask you can use any YouTube tutorial. So Python Flask, I will suggest you some playlist if you want to learn Flask. So yeah, you can obviously use Code with Harry or Core Sharper you can also use. I will not suggest to go with any below. So yeah, go with Code with Harry or Core Sharper if you want to learn Flask. Flask is a very lightweight thing which you can use for your backend applications of Python. So I will not suggest to go with big deep with this course in Flask. Try to learn Flask from this, then use some external resources, because pretty basic things with Flask in this course, right? And that's the end of this course, because these things like data analysis with Python and all these things are pretty basic, and this is only fancy thing which is in the course, and not any motivation that you should learn from this course, the data analysis, right? So this is the end of course with the ending of Flask. So this is the whole course. Now after this course, what will you do? I will give you example of how will you create a project which you can do with this course to help you out to stand away from the crowd. So project, how will you do a project? So you have two things. If you want to implement a project in web development, you can go with these skills. So you will use HTML, CSS, Python, Flask, API, database, right? You can use these things if you are going through web development project. If you are going through a GUI application kind of project, you can use Python, Oops, Tkinter, API, database, right? It's purely your choice. You want to build a project in web development or in a GUI application. Now, how will you build a project? So first thing is create a design of the project first. Okay, so biggest mistake is people often go into the coding side of a project. First create a design of project, how you what will be the flow of your project, how your project will be proceed, how you start with the project, some basic diagrams, flow diagrams, start with that. Then try to implement your project. In your project, second thing most important is documentation. Always try to document your code. Okay, so this thing also very important, a pretty basic thing, and often people will not use this thing and will be in trouble in the future. So try to do the documentation as much as you can, right? Third thing, always try always try to make your project in separate files. Like every module should be in the separate file, every functionality should be in the separate file, so you can master the reusability thing which you can proceed in the interview. Yeah, so this thing I can show that my code is reusable, right? You can use this thing. So these all things you have to carefully taken in your mind before going through the project. So I will give some project ideas that you can do. So for web development, what you can do, you can design a pretty basic shopping website and use all these things, right? A very good project will be, what you can do, you can implement a Python web based library. This project will be very unique and very good. Try to do this. You can implement a visual data structure using Python. Like you can implement trees or heaps that will be visualized in your website. That these things, these are the project ideas you can do using all these things, right? If you want to go through GUI application, what you can do for GUI, what you can do, you can create some very good things. Like one thing is games. You can make games. Second thing, as Angela you shown, you can go with any data analysis visualizer. Okay, so these kind of projects you can do in GUI, and most important thing is please maintain documentation, object oriented programming approach, and all these things. And you can use some external resources, or you can ask me in the comment section. I am forgetting so much things, so sorry about that. So this is all about this video. I hope you understood how can you master Python using this course. So thank you so much for watching.